Hello everybody, this is Steve O'Reilly and Gail Saunders with SkinnyPose.com. And today we're going to talk a little bit about surprise teams in the AFC and the NFC, both positively and negatively. We're going to lead off with the positive. We're going to try to find some teams that didn't do so well last year but may surprise people in 2010. As you may be aware, we wrote a couple of articles regarding both of those conferences. And we're going to start off with the AFC. Gail, who's your AFC team that you think may come out in 2010 and really shock people?
I think my team here is the Dolphins. We have the new beast of the East, that is Brandon Marshall, who, just by him being on the field alone, sets the tone for that team. It's a whole different attitude, and it's a whole different offense. They can do so many different things now that they can throw the deep ball. Underneath is going to be wide open. You're looking at the tight end, you're looking at the slot guys like Devon Best. He's going to get his due. And look, the running game is going to open that up. The Wildcat is already, I wouldn't say unstoppable, but it's tricky. And if their defense comes to play, they filled in the pieces. Parcells went out and got his linebacker and Carlos Dansby. Got the young corners on the end. Went out and drafted a DT and Jared. So, I think they're looking pretty good, man. They're my team.
I also really like Mike Nolan. I think that was big pickup. I mean, look what he did out in Denver last year with his 3-4 attacking style defense. And now he comes to Miami, and he's going to probably instill that, go after the quarterback mentality and that attack style defense. So I think Miami's a good choice. They really could do some good things. They have a tough little division in the AFC East, but they might just be the team to beat. I'm going to go ahead and go with a surprise team who did have a winning record last year at 9-7, but I'm going to go with the Houston Texans. I think it's time for the Texans to start putting some things together. And now they have some of that youth that was a couple years ago. They were young, but now they're ready to go ahead and make a move. I think now is the time. I really like what they have on offense as far as Matt Schaub's got another year in Kubiak's system. Andre Johnson, we already know what he brings to the table. The running game needs to improve a little bit, as far as holding on to the football. They had a lot of fumbles last year from the running back position, and,
Right.
Slayton was kind of benched a little bit because of that. But if he can figure out how to hold on to the ball a little bit better, which I'm sure he's going to work hard at all offseason, they've got the offense that can score points. The question was always on defense. But, guys like Brian Cushing in the fold, D'Amico Ryans, they got a good young linebacking core. Questions have kind of always been in the secondary with them. Do they have the guys that can cover? Dante Robinson was a little bit of, a bust, so he moved on. Now he's with Atlanta. But, they were the 13th ranked defense last year, so they're improving. If they can get a little bit better, hold on to the ball, get some turnovers going in their favor, I think the Houston Texans can make a run. I don't think they're going to be better than the Colts, but they could win 10, 11, 12 games. I don't think it's out of their reach.
Yeah, they also drafted Ben Tate, running back. He looks like he could be a stud. I mean, they're talking like he could spell Steve Slayton. And I think what really hurt him, those turnovers. I mean, last year I called them like the best mediocre team out there. I mean, one week they looked phenomenal. I mean, they were in a whole bunch of games and lost by the smallest amounts.
And that's the thing. The NFL is such a fine line. I mean, it really is the little things that are the difference between a win and a loss. And, if you pay attention to the little things, the big things take care of themselves. So I think Kubiak really needs to put that talent together, and they've got so much talent on defense. I mean, you look at the first-round picks they've invested on that side of the ball. I mean, defensive ends, defensive tackles, linebackers, cornerbacks. They've got a lot of first-round talent in that defense. So if they can get it together, they could really make some noise next year, I think. So now let's switch it up and go back to reality. The team that goes from
reality.
The hero to the zero. Who's going to fall from grace? Who's the team you see coming in that just might not cut the mustard next year?
Well, I'm going to have to go with the almighty Patriots. The Patriots, the one-time beast of the AFC East. Not so much these days. I mean, there's a little, I'm not going to say turmoil, but the same swagger is not there. You don't know if they're rebuilding or reloading. You have two guys up in their, in their last years of the contract with Tom Brady. He's not at OTAs. I mean, it's not, he's wearing Yankee hat these days. I think Randy Moss is in his final year, and is the same chemistry there. Wes Welker is hurt. He's a big part of that offense. When is he going to come back? Can the younger guys come in and take his place? The defense isn't the same defense. It's a young defense. Don't get me wrong. They drafted the best of them. But I just don't see them being the team that they used to be. And are the players still playing for Belichick? Is another.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I remember last year, Dalius Thomas, he kind of made those comments before he was benched about, we're not in kindergarten, we don't need to be treated a certain way. And Belichick's always had that, coaches with fear. I mentioned it on the website that, he admits it. That's his way of going about things. And, some guys that doesn't resonate well with. And they may, there may be some guys that are just tired of being treated a certain way. And, and Brady seems to be, he used to always be the guy that was there he loved the perfect attendance. He was always there for everything. And now he's kind of on the other coast of the country. And, I think you're right. They lost a little bit of that swagger, a little bit of that, hunger, I guess. They're just not as hungry as they used to be, but we'll see. My team is actually right in the AFC East as well. I'm going to go with the New York Jets. I know everybody loves the Jets, and the hype is all about the Jets, but, they got hot last year, and I'm not sure if they rode momentum or if they rode talent to get to the AFC Championship game. I don't necessarily think that Sanchez is going to have a sophomore slump, but I just don't think that the offense is the same, especially with Thomas Jones being gone. I mean, I know that they brought in LT. I know Sean Green is going to carry the load, and they have pieces, but are they the same pieces? They relied heavily on Thomas Jones. He was a great 1,000-yard rusher for them, and now he's gone. So I don't know. I just think they got older in certain parts. Guys like Jason Taylor at the end of their career, LaDainian Tomlinson's at the end of his career. They brought in a new safety, but they lost Kerry Rhodes, who was kind of a team leader in certain ways. And Darrelle Revis wants more money, and that could get a little dicey. And, I don't know. I just don't know if they backed into the playoffs and got hot, or they really are a team that was better than the 9-7 record they posted a year ago. So I could see them going 8-8, and especially in a division where, the Dolphins are better and, they've got a lot of challenges. So I don't know. I think the Jets may fall a little bit.
I think they're gonna. In my opinion, I think they're gonna do well, and the reason why is because of the coaching. I think I don't know if I see Rex Ryan letting his team,
Yeah,
falsify.
I know.
I don't know.
And you're in New York City, so you've kind of got your finger on the pulse a little bit more than I do, being down here in the South. But I don't know. I just something in my gut. It just tells me that the Jets may just be mediocre next year.
There's a lot of hype surrounding with the show following them this year, and you brought all those superstars and all those egos, and there's a whole different chemistry in New York this year. So that could implode, and that's what people have been scared of as well. So
yeah. So that's who I'm going with, and we'll see how it all plays out, as they say. That's why they play the games.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
It'll be interesting.
And you viewers out there, we'd love for you to step in and see what your opinion is. Hit us with some posts down there.
We always love to have comments. We love hearing from our fans and our readers. It's enjoyable to have interaction. So stop on by and sit and talk football with us. We'd love to have you. Well, I'm Steve O'Reilly. This is Gail Saunders, and we are SkinnyPost.com, bringing you the off-season buzz about the surprise teams for 2010. See you next time.